Cade Cunningham just took 45 shots in an NBA game, but today we're making him do that every game by not only putting his shot and touch tendency to 100, but we're going to put his passing tendency to 0, and we're going to put all his teammates' shot tendency to 0. And in Cade's first game as a ball hog, they're going to win. I'm scared to see how many points he put up. He only dropped 44, but after that first game, Cade turned it up, averaging 53 points per game. He put up 76 points in a game, and he averaged more than Wilt in his 50-point season. He had 70 40-point games, 51 50-point games, and 23 60-point games. Also, he somehow managed to lead the Pistons to 52 wins. In the first round of the playoffs, they're going up against the Magic. They're gonna sweep them, and Cade's averaging 55 in the playoffs. His first playoff game, he dropped 66 points, and in game 4, he dropped 69. In the second round, they're playing a 7 seed. They should be able to win again, but they're gonna lose in 6 games. That is the last thing I expected. Cade put up 67 in game 1, 61 in game 2, game 3, he dropped 46, game 4, 65. Game 5, he only put up 45, though he shot pretty bad. And he went off in the elimination game, but they're going to lose to a 7 seed. And in Cade's second season, he's going to win back-to-back MVPs. His season high in points was 75. Last season, the Pistons were the 3rd seed, and now they're up to the 1 seed. That is the last thing I expected. They won 56 games, but there are 2 teams in the Western Conference that are better than them. They're playing the Magic in the first round, just like last year, and they're not even going to make it out. That is crazy. I thought they were going to have a cakewalk to the finals. I guess on the bright side, Cade dropped 71 in a playoff game, and on the points and field goals list, he's the only person there. And season 3 looks like it might be a rough one. They have so many guards on this roster. Why? Cade's gonna win his 3rd MVP in a row, averaging 51 points per game, but I can't call him the GOAT yet. They haven't won anything. The Pistons are the 2 seed. Let's just hope they don't blow it in the first round like last year. They're gonna sweep. And now they have actual competition as they have to play the 3-seeded Knicks. We're gonna go game by game here. Game 1's gonna go to the Knicks. They win by 8. Game 2, the Pistons win by just 1 point. The Knicks take game 3 by 6. Please don't let the Knicks go up 3-1. They're gonna blow out the Pistons, and in game 5, the Pistons get eliminated. I don't know what it is. They've been able to do good in the regular season, but not in the playoffs. But as we start season 4, we're going into overdrive. I'm gonna lower everyone's touch tendency to 0. And it looks like the touch tendency did absolutely nothing. He's still averaging around the same amount. Why is Luka a 6-man, and why is he on the Pelicans? He's the best player on the team. I guess he's backing up Jeremiah Fears. Every season, the Pistons have been a top 3 seed so far. They're back to the 1 seed, and they have to play the Pacers. They lost to the Pacers when the Pacers were the 7 seed. Let's just hope they don't blow it again. They're not going to sweep them, but they gentlemen sweep. And in the second round, they have to play the Nets, who have Jokic now. I feel like this could go either way. Game 1, the Pistons are going to win by about 20. Game 2, they win by 8. Game 3, they're going to lose by just 3 points. In game 4, they finally go up 3-1. Please just don't let the Nets force a game 7, and they're on to the conference finals. And now they have to play the Hawks. This Hawks team looks nice. Game 1's gonna go to the Hawks. That 4th quarter by the Pistons was absolutely terrible. They were up going into the 4th. Cade dropped 54, and Trae Young dropped 51. Game 2, though, we have a totally different outcome. The Hawks offense looked terrible. Cade dropped 53. Zion had a triple-double. And this game, Trae only put up 15 points. He shot 4 for 17. And in game 3, we had a close one, but once again, the Pistons have a bad 4th quarter. I don't know what's up with them. Cade had 57, and in game 4, the Hawks go up 3-1 in the series now. Cade had 55, and for the Hawks, Trae had 42. It might be over here. Game 5, the Hawks are gonna win, and the Pistons are eliminated. Season 5's wrapped up. Cade just averaged 53, and this season, he tied Kobe's 81, and then he broke it. Now we just need the Pistons to lock in as a team. They're the 1 seed again. Round 1, they have to go up against the Cavs. They're gonna sweep them, and last year, they made the conference finals. This year, let's see if they can get back. The Pistons win games 1, 2, and 3, and in game 4, they're gonna sweep. But now they have their rematch against the Hawks, who have Jared Allen at center now. And with 2 minutes to go in game 1, we finally get to see Cade in action as he's gonna make it a 1-point game. On the other end, we have Ricochet using the screen and pulling the deep 3. He's gonna miss. Now we have Cade slowing down the fast break. Duran's gonna set the screen. I don't know what Cade's doing. He's gonna drive past Giddey, and he's gonna miss the jumper. Now we have Ricochet with the ball again. He's gonna pull the 3 with no hesitation, and he puts the Hawks up 4. I'm surprised Cade's not touching the ball here. Bub Carrington's gonna find him in the paint. They're gonna send a double. He kicks it to Modest, and his 3 is off. This has been a pretty bad start here for the Pistons. Ricochet's gonna use the screen again, and he's gonna miss the 3. So the Pistons are still alive here, but they're running out of time. Bub Carrington on the drive is gonna take the layup and make it a 2-point game. Ricochet with 30 seconds to go is gonna pull another 3 off the screen, and Duran's gonna get the board. So now the Pistons can tie it here. Modest is gonna take the layup. What is that shot? That was a very interesting shot. Now we have Dyson Daniels at the line. He's gonna knock down his first free throw and to put the Hawks up by 4. His second free throw is good. 15 seconds to go for Cade and the Pistons. Cade with the behind the back. He's gonna pass out of the shot. 10 seconds to go. They're gonna go back to Cade. I don't know why he's not shooting it over Trae Young, but Ivy's gonna make the three. So now Trae gets to go to the free throw line. He's gonna knock down his first free throw, and he knocks down the second. 93% of people who watch me aren't subscribed, so make sure to subscribe to help me hit my goal of 35,000 subscribers. So now the Pistons have 5 seconds with no timeouts. Cade bringing it up the court. He's gonna have to pull the logo three, and he's just barely gonna miss. If only they had more time, he could have gotten a better shot, and he dropped 74. And that's crazy because a couple days ago he dropped 77. And in game 2 we have another close one, but this time the Pistons have the lead. I don't know why Bub and Zion are running a pick and roll, bro. Just find Cade. They're gonna kick it to him with 6 seconds to go on the shot clock. Being guarded by Josh Giddey. Cade is not moving. He's just gonna have to chuck up the mid-range. I don't know what that plan was. So now Ricochet can tie the game up here. He's gonna kick it to Giddey in the corner though, and his three is in and out. Cade's not gonna use the fast break. He's trying to go at Giddey though. Giddey is clamping him up, but he's gonna take the layup anyway, and it rolls off the back of the rim, but he's gonna get the rebound. And now we have a Bub and Jalen Duren pick and roll. Bub's gonna pull the three, it's off. Duren's gonna get the rebound, and they're going crazy on the offensive glass. I don't know what Asar's trying to do right now. He finds Bub. 5 seconds to go. They go to Duren. 3 seconds to go. He's gonna have to chuck up the layup. He just barely gets it off, and the Pistons go up 4. So now it's looking rough for Ricochet and the Hawks. He's trying to get past Asar, but Asar's playing great defense. Ricochet gets into the paint though, and he misses the shot. And in game 3, the Pistons are gonna blow out the Hawks. Cade just put up 65. Jaden Ivey had a double-double. And let's see if they can go up 3-1 here. They're gonna win by 5, and they're on to the finals. It took long enough for them to get there with them being good every single year. Now they have to go up against 98 overall Cooper Flagg. In game 1, the Pistons are gonna get blown out. They have a good fourth quarter, but it's way too late. Cade only had 40. I mean, he shot good, but why is he not shooting more? And AJ Mitchell dropped 30 for them. Game 2, this one's pretty much over in the first quarter. That's crazy. You can't win a game starting out like that. They could have easily won if it wasn't for the first quarter. Cade only put up 46 this game. He's averaging 58 in the playoffs. He needs to keep doing more of that. And let's see if they can win game 3. The Mavericks are going to win, and in game 4, the Pistons are going to get swept. At the start of season 6, Cade's up to a 94 overall, and the Pistons are going crazy. They just started off the year 21-0, and Cade's going to win his 6th MVP in a row. And the Pistons are going to win 63 games. The only problem is that the Rockets won 70. That's going to be a tough team to beat. Hopefully the Pistons can make the finals again. In the first round, they have to face the 8 seed Cavs. They're going to sweep. In the second round, they have to play this Celtics team with Anthony Edwards. Bro, they basically have 4 90+ overalls. This is going to be a tough team to beat. Game 1 goes to the Celtics by 4. Game 2, the Celtics are going to win. They're going to take a 3-0 lead. They're not going to sweep the Pistons. And in game 5, the Pistons force a game 6. Can they force a game 7? They can. But unfortunately, the Celtics are not going to blow a 3-0 lead. The Pistons got so close. Cade had 58, but Anthony Edwards dropped 44. That Celtics team is crazy for a 4 seed. They get swept in the conference finals. And at the start of season 7, Cade already has 30,000 points. So let's see what's going to happen first. Him winning a championship or moving to number 1 on the all-time scoring list. This year, Cade's going to average 53 points per game. And this is the first year he hasn't won the Clutch Player of the Year. And in one season, he just moved from 14th all-time all the way into the top 5. And as for the Pistons, they're the 1 seed again. Let's just please make it back to at least the conference finals. They're going to win in 7 in the first round. And now they have to play this Celtics team again. I'm not looking forward to the outcome of this. The Celtics take game 1 by 3. They blow them out in game 2. They're going to go up 3-0. Let's see if the Pistons can somehow force a game 7 again, and they can't. I don't know how this Celtics team is a 4th seed. It seems like they just beat us and then they lose. Cade's got to be the GOAT at this point, and he's back to winning Clutch Player of the Year. Let's see how the Pistons did. They're the 1 seed again. Can they please actually get the job done this time? In the first round, they have to face the Magic. They're going to sweep them, and now they have to play the Celtics again. On the bright side, the Celtics are worse. The Pistons are actually going to win game 1 and game 2. They're going to go up 3-0. They're not going to sweep though. I'm starting to get scared now, but they're going to make the conference finals. And every time they play the Hawks, they just look better and better. And here goes nothing. Game 1, the Hawks are going to win by 12. Game 2, the Hawks win by 13. The Hawks are going to go up 3-0. They're not going to sweep. Can the Pistons force a game 7? They can't. And they're just the 1 seed for nothing every single season. And in season 9, Cade averages 54. And as for the Pistons, they're not the 1 seed anymore. They drop down to the 2 seed. They have the same record as the Nets though. And in the first round, they have to go up against the Pacers. Okay, that scared me a little bit. They're going to win. And in the second round, they have to play the Hornets, who have 390 overalls. That is not a great look for the Pistons here. They're going to blow them out in game 1 though. Game 2, the Hornets win by just 4 points. And in game game 3, the Pistons are going to blow out the Hornets again. Game 4, they win by 7. And in game 5, they're back in the conference finals against the Nets. Oh my gosh, they have a nice team. They have an older Jokic. They have Booker. They have Jaylen Brown and Scotty Barnes. Let's just see if the Pistons can make it back to the finals. They're going to steal game 1 and 2 on the road. Game 3 is going to go to the Nets, though. No home team has won yet. Now the Pistons are going to change that. And in game 5, the Pistons are back in the finals against the Mavericks again. I'm just scared because the Mavericks four-peated and won 5 out of the last 7 championships. But here goes nothing. Game 1, the Mavericks win by 15. Game 2, they blow out the Pistons. They're going to take a 3-0 lead. They're not going to sweep. Can the Pistons somehow force a game 7? They can't. So now we're moving on to season 10. I didn't think we'd get anywhere near the double digits. Cade's going to win his 10th MVP in a row. And the Pistons win 68 games. They're still not the best team in the league. But let's see if they can make it back to the finals. They lost the first 2 games and get eliminated by a play-in team. That's insane. They were the 10th seed too. They only won 37 games. That is the last thing I expected. Cade just won his 11th MVP. And the Pistons are so good every year. They're the 1 seed again. But can they actually get it done? Round 1, they're not going to sell this time. Round 2, they have to play the Hawks, who have given them trouble. The Hawks are going to win game 1. The Pistons tie the series up. The Hawks win game 3 and 4. And in game 5, the Pistons are eliminated. Another season, another Cade MVP. That's crazy. The Pistons are the 1 seed, but the Hawks also won 67 games. And the Mavericks won 68, so if they make it to the finals, they can actually compete with them. But I'm not confident for this team to make the finals. They're going to make it out of the first round in 6. Now they have to play one of their kryptonite in the Celtics. They're going to win games 1 and 2. They're going to take a 3-0 lead and they're going to sweep them. And now they have to play the Nets. It's crazy. The Celtics, Hawks, and Nets are the 3 teams they've had trouble with. And they have to play 2 out of the 3 teams. Game 1, they're going to beat the Nets. Game 2, they're going to win. Game 3, they're going to take a 3-0 lead and they're going to sweep. I don't know how the first round was their hardest, and the Mavericks aren't even here. The Clippers are going to make it. The Mavericks lost in the first round. I didn't even realize. So now they have to play a team that didn't even win 50 games. And with them winning almost 70, this is their chance to finally win a championship. Here we go. Game 1 is going to go to the Clippers because of course it is. Game 2, the Clippers win by 1. Game 3, they're going to win by 3 and they're going to sweep. This has to be the most unclutched team I've ever seen. At the beginning of the next season, Cade's 36 years old, so he's running out of time to win a championship, but Cade is still as good as ever, averaging 52 points. This season, the Pistons are the 2 seed, 1 game back from the Hawks, and I have very low expectations for them in the playoffs. They're going to sweep in the first round. In the second round, they have to play the Nets. This team doesn't even look that good, but here goes nothing. Game 1, the Nets win by about 20. Game 2, the Pistons win by 10. Game 3, the Nets win. Game 4, the Pistons tie the series up. In game 5, the Nets win by about 20 and we're going to a game 7. But in game 7, the Pistons are going to blow out the Nets to move on to the conference finals. Cade put up 62 points, and now they have to go up against the Hawks. This one probably won't end well. The Pistons are going to take games 1 and 2 on the road, though. They're going to go up 3-0 and they're in the finals. The only problem is they're going to be playing a top 2 seed and it's going to be the Rockets. We haven't played them in the finals yet. We've only lost to the Mavericks twice and the Clippers once, but this would be huge. Game 1 is going to go to the Rockets. They win by just 2 points. They're going to blow the Pistons out in game 2. The Pistons are going to win game 3 and they tie the series up. And in game 5 of the finals, the Rockets are going to go up 3-2. Cade dropped 43, but it wasn't enough. And in game 6, the Pistons blew it in the 4th quarter. Cade dropped 48. They could have easily forced the game 7, but his finals record's going to move to 0-4. At the start of season 14, Cade's starting to drop in overall, but he's still going to win the MVP, averaging 53 a game. The Rockets won 76 games though, so even if the Pistons make the finals as the 2 seed, it's probably not going to end well for them. They're going to gentleman sweep in the first round and sweep in the second, and the 1 seed Hawks lost, so they're up against the 4 seed. Let's see if they can get back to the finals. Game 1, they're going to lose. Game 2, they're going to win. They're also going to win game 3, and the series is tied. And in game 5, this one was pretty much over since halftime. What are the Pistons doing? Cade dropped 48, and they got cooked by Wemby, who's 35 years old. Let's see if the Pistons can force a game 7. They can't. Season number 15, Cade's down to a 90. He's still going to win the MVP, even though he averaged under 50 for the first time all video, and the Pistons are sitting at the 2nd seed. They're probably going to fumble in the playoffs again. They're going to make it out of the first round, and in the second round, we're going to a game 7, and all the Pistons have to do is hold this lead for 2 more minutes. Cade's going gonna use the screen. He's struggling to get into the paint. He's gonna take the layup over Jeremiah Fears, and he puts the Pistons up 5. At this point, there are so many auto-generated players. Arthur's gonna knock down the 3. So that's not a great start for the Pistons' first defensive possession. Cade's gonna pull the midi, he misses, but the center's gonna get the offensive rebound and the putback. That was super clutch, so the Pistons are still up 4. They're gonna find Gary in the paint. He's probably gonna have to go up with the layup, and he makes it a 2-point game. Less than a minute to go. Cade's gonna find the center for an easy dunk, and just like that, we have a 4-point game again. This time, Arthur's not gonna use a screen. He's in an ISO. He's gonna take the spin layup, and everybody's making everything. So now it's up to Cade to score again. He's gonna ISO on Jeremiah Fears. He gets into the paint easily, and he makes the floater. Less than 30 seconds to go for the Knicks. Arthur makes his way into the paint, and he forces up a contested layup. And Cade's gonna knock down both free throws, so the Knicks are gonna need a huge shot here. They get a wide open 3, and they make it. So now we have Bronny at the free throw line. He's gonna miss the first free throw. Please just make this second one to put the Pistons up 4. He's gonna miss. The Knicks have no timeouts. They're gonna need a big shot here. Gary's gonna pull the 3, and he knocks it down to tie the game up. The Pistons have no timeouts. I don't know why Cade is taking his sweet time coming up the court. He's gonna have to pull the top of the key 3, and it's in and out. And with 1 minute to go in overtime, we're all tied up. Cade's gonna do it behind the back. He almost gets a turnover. He's gonna get another chance here on Jeremiah Fears, and he misses the layup. That is huge. Now on the fast break, Jeremiah Fears finds Arthur. Arthur's gonna attack Bronny. He takes the spin layup, and he gives the Knicks the lead. That is a terrible way to start overtime. Cade on the ISO, struggling to get into the paint, and to force up another layup, and he misses. All the Pistons have to do is get the stop here. Bronny playing good defense is gonna get the steal. Bronny's gonna find Cade in the paint. He fights the center, and we're all tied up. So now with 10 seconds to go, the Knicks could potentially win game 7 here. That's terrible defense from Bronny, but they missed the dunk. And since they didn't go for the last shot, the Pistons get a chance here. Cade's gonna have to pull the 3 over Jeremiah Fears, and we're going into double overtime. And with less than a minute to go in double overtime, the Pistons are down by 2. Cade's gonna get an open 3, and he gives them the lead. The Knicks have been struggling to get a good look this possession. Jeremiah Fears is gonna use the screen, and he throws down the dunk. Cade got caught on the screen pretty bad there. Let's see if he can make up for that on offense, and he bodies Jeremiah Fears for the layup. So now it all comes down to one shot in double overtime. Arthur takes the layup over Bronny, and it's good. I'm surprised they didn't take the last shot there. Now Cade's gonna chew out the clock. He's gonna go for the win here. He drives on Jeremiah Fears, and he banks in the layup. So with 1.5 on the clock, the Knicks basically have to hit a full court shot, and the Pistons are gonna move on. In double overtime, Cade drops 76 points, and that's crazy. That was only the second round. In the conference finals, the Pistons have to play the Celtics. They're gonna lose games 1 and 2. They're gonna go down 3-0, and they're gonna get swept. So after 15 seasons of being a ball hog, Cade Cunningham's gonna retire. He's gonna finish his career averaging 46 points per game. He won 15 MVPs, and I can't believe he didn't win a single championship. But he might still be the GOAT. He dropped 88 in a game, and he finished his career with 69,000 career points. And he blew all of these Wilt Chamberlain records out of the water. If you want to see me put Russell Westbrook's career in reverse, click the video on the screen right now.